Hello students, this is Shachi. Welcome to my channel Crack Chemistry. Today I am going to discuss the class 10th topic. The name of the chapter is Acids, Bases and Salts, and topic's name is Salts, Family of Salts and pH of salts. In today's video, I am going to tell you a trick with the help of which you can predict the pH of salts within seconds without committing any mistake. Students, before starting, I want to remind you to subscribe my channel for getting information about important uploads and press the like button if you like this video and share this video with your friends also. So now come with me and let's crack chemistry. Our topic is salts. So first of all, we will see what are salts. Students, salts are the compounds which are formed by partial or complete replacement of hydrogen atoms of an acid by a metallic ion or by ammonium ion. Now I'm going to explain you this definition by taking an example. Consider the case of salt which is formed by the reaction between sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. Students, when sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid react together, two types of salts are formed. As I told you in the beginning that salts are formed by partial or complete replacement of hydrogen atom of an acid by metallic ion or by ammonium ion. So when sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid react together at a temperature lesser than 200 degrees centigrade, partial displacement of hydrogen atom take place. What do you mean by partial replacement? Partial replacement means sulfuric acid has two hydrogen atoms. Out of two hydrogen atoms, one hydrogen atom will be replaced by sodium ion here. So what you will get? You will get sodium because one hydrogen atom has been replaced by sodium, HSO4, plus the replaced hydrogen of sulfuric acid will combine with OH of sodium hydroxide and will form water. So the salt which is formed here is called as sodium bisulfate. It is also called as sodium hydrogen sulfate. And how it is formed? It is formed by partial replacement of hydrogen atoms. Now, if sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid react together at a temperature greater than 200 degrees centigrade, then complete replacement of hydrogen atoms of sulfuric acid will take place, which will result in the formation of sodium sulfate. Let's try to understand by taking the reaction. 2NaOH plus H2SO4. Reaction, as I told you, will take place at a temperature greater than 200 degrees centigrade. The product form will be Na2SO4 because both the hydrogen atoms of sulfuric acid has been replaced by sodium ions plus H2O. So the name of the product is sodium sulfate and it is formed by complete replacement. I hope it is clear to you. Now we will see what is a salt. The salt is an ionic compound which dissociates in water to give a positive ion other than hydrogen ion and a negative ion other than hydroxyl ion. Just now we have studied that sodium sulfate is a salt which consists of sodium ion and sulfate ion. It is formed by the reaction between sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. Sodium sulfate on dissociation gives sodium ion and sulfate ion. As I told you in the beginning only, a salt is a compound which on dissociation gives positive ions which are called as cations other than hydrogen ion and a negative ion which are called as anions other than hydroxyl ions. So we will see the dissociation of sodium sulfate. So Na2SO4, I have written aqua as a suffix because always remember that salts will undergo dissociation in aqueous solution only. So sodium sulfate on dissociation will give sodium ion. So 2Na plus aqua means they are formed in water plus SO4 2 minus aqua. And already we have discussed that sodium sulfate is a salt which is formed by neutralization reaction between sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. Now we will learn about family of salts. Salts having same positive or negative radical are said to belong to the same family. For example, consider the family of sodium salts. This family includes all the salts which consists of sodium ion as a positive ion, like NaCl, Na2SO4, NaNO3, etc. Now consider another family in which the salts consists of common negative ion. We will consider about the chloride family. Example of salts of this family are NaCl, KCl, MgCl2, etc. Now we will learn about pH of salts. Students, on the basis of pH, there can be three categories of salts. First, we will discuss about neutral salts. Neutral salts are those salts which are formed by the reaction between a strong acid and a strong base. For example, the salt which is formed by the reaction between a strong base, which is sodium hydroxide, and a strong acid, which is sulfuric acid, so the salt formed will be sodium sulfate. So examples of such type of salt are, one example I just discussed, the salt which is formed by the reaction between sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid. We can write the formation of sodium sulfate. 2 moles of sodium hydroxide react with 1 mole of sulfuric acid, and the salt which is formed is Na2SO4 plus H2O. Let's consider another example of neutral salt which is formed by the reaction between a strong base sodium hydroxide and a strong acid HCl. The salt formed is sodium chloride. 1 mole of sodium hydroxide reacts with 1 mole of hydrochloric acid, and 1 mole of sodium chloride and 1 mole of water is formed. If you carefully examine these salts, you will find that hydrogen atoms of the acid are completely replaced by sodium ion. Like in case of first example, sodium sulfate, just see, sulfuric acid has 2 hydrogen atoms and both the hydrogen atoms have been replaced by 2 sodium atoms. Now consider the another salt which is formed by the reaction between sodium hydroxide and HCl. The only hydrogen atom of hydrochloric acid has been completely displaced by sodium. The pH of such salts is 7. So always remember, pH of neutral salts is always 7, and such salts are formed by the reaction between a strong acid and a strong base. Now we will consider a few more examples of such type of salts. Few more examples can be sodium nitrate, which is formed by the reaction between a strong base, sodium hydroxide, and nitric acid, which is HNO3. KCl, which is potassium chloride, and K2SO4, which is potassium sulfate, also come in this category. So after discussing neutral salts, we will discuss another category of salts, which is acidic salts. Salts which are formed by the reaction between a strong acid and a weak base come in this category. The pH of such salts is less than 7. One of the examples of such type of salts is ammonium chloride NH4Cl, which is formed by the reaction of a strong acid HCl with a weak base ammonium hydroxide NH4OH. Other examples are ferric chloride, which is FeCl3, aluminium chloride, which is AlCl3, and ammonium sulfate, which is NH4 taken twice SO4. Now we will discuss about the third category of salts, which are called as basic salts. The salts which are formed by the reaction between a strong base with a weak acid are called as basic salts. Such salts have pH more than 7. One of the examples of such category of salt is sodium acetate, CH3COO, which is formed by the reaction between a weak acid, acetic acid, and a strong base, sodium hydroxide. Other examples of such category of salts are sodium hydrogen carbonate, sodium carbonate, potassium acetate, etc. Students, I hope each and every point is clear to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe my channel and don't forget to watch my next video. Please like this video in case you liked it and share this video with your friends also. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.